What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Sip Off, where we have drinks and talk all things basketball. I'm your host, Megan Price, and we got a jam-packed show for you tonight. But first, let me go ahead and get my co-host on. We got Jahan Phillips. What's up,
Hey,
Jahan?
what up with you? How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Busy.
How's your week? Extra.
But I was gonna say 31 years to retirement. Countdown.
Countdown. Yes, indeed.
You? That was quick.
Super busy, really exciting week. We got the WNBA Draft coming up. I got a couple new shows coming out, and I applied for a job with the Wings, so super excited. We'll see how that goes.
Well, congratulations, man. It's yours. It's gonna be destined to have it. It's gonna be, and they're gonna be lucky to have you. So.
Well, thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get our guests. We got Will Vogel in the house. What's up, Will?
What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
No, I'm not talking to this guy right now. I'm not talking to this.
Said y'all can't go to a game together. Y'all not going to talk.
Yeah, we beefing. We beefing. I'm putting it out in the national radio wave that Will Vogel and I are beefing.
Next pay-per-view.
I'm laying the smackdown.
You would, dude.
Okay,
I
Tyler.
wouldn't be surprised.
He said your hat is ugly.
Yo, this hat fire.
That
Tyler
is a
don't
pretty
hate
cool Pirates hat. That is a pretty cool Pirates.
That's right, fire. And it's got the pirate on the side. Dang,
That
fire,
is cool.
bro.
You're
That
a
is cool.
Yankees fan.
I
Yo,
know.
listen,
It kind of
hold
makes
on.
me.
I am a Yankees fan, but I like stuff that looks cool. You know what I'm saying?
We know.
Don't say he's a Pirates
No, wait, hold
fan.
on. Speaking of
Don't
cool.
say he's a
Speaking of
Pirates fan because Pirates fans don't exist.
cool. Well, speaking of cool, we got Cool McCain in the house. What's up, Cool? How are you?
What up? What up?
What's good with you, man?
What's good, bro?
Oh, can't complain, man. We would like a different outcome on Monday, but hey, we got there. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can
sir.
live with that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what you're referring to. I blocked everything from my memory.
Okay, well I'm not talking to you then, sir. But I will
Right.
defend Jahan for once on the fact that I myself as well, I do rock a plethora of MLB hats. Because a lot of the joints is nice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And you can match them up with the right outfit and stuff.
yeah.
But I don't really care what the team on them is if it ain't Braves. But I'll grab them like, yeah, I got something to go nice with that joint.
Yeah.
Okay, well, make sure you get a
Colorado
Rangers
Rockies,
one.
like the Colorado Rockies joints, the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, bro.
I do like the Rockies. Yeah, I like purple, so I like their colors.
Can't wait till tomorrow. Cool. That's gonna be fire.
What do y'all got
Yeah,
tomorrow?
it
Opening day?
No,
Nah.
I'm a.
Big
Tell
Will's
him,
gonna be on the play callers.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay, Will. Branching out, different shows.
I have to. You know it.
All right, guys. Well,
You becoming a
let's
podcast.
jump into the NCAA coverage because I know all of y'all are sad. So.
I'm not sad.
Sad?
I'm not either. I'm over
okay.
it. I'm
Everybody's
just
okay.
happy
You had
we
a few
got
days
there.
to recover.
What are you referring
Well,
to?
two of us are okay, but it sounds like one of us is not.
What are you referring to, Megan?
Oh man. Okay, so in the Final Four, we have Villanova versus Kansas. Kansas came out on top, 81-65. Standout player for that game was McCormick. He had 25, 1, and 9. Any thoughts on that game?
Well, Kansas, I read. I'm pretty sure they did not give up a lead at all that game. They just came out firing through the gates. They just hit shot after shot after shot after shot, and just Villanova had no answers for it at all.
Yeah,
And I know we had several people on the panel that took Villanova and several friends that we know that took Villanova, and they just looked really outmatched in this game.
Oh yeah, I was one of the people that took Villanova.
Okay,
I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
it happens.
Yeah, that's the only game I was wrong about. So
yeah,
no Justin Moore really hurt Villanova.
Right.
That's what.
He was definitely missed.
Yeah, completely.
Kansas just was a top tier team, man.
They'll, yes,
Kansas had it. Like even the bench, Remy Martin off the bench, giving
that kid's
great
special.
minutes. Agbaji, he giving great numbers. McCormick gave great numbers. Braun gave great numbers.
I
They
think
look
the
like a team
reason
on a mission.
I think the reason I slept on Kansas so much is because I know they lost to Texas once this season. They lost to Texas Tech once this season. And I just kind of figured they were probably the one seed that looked most likely to get bounced early. But as we see, that was not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Baylor.
It was Baylor, and I'm
Yep, that
fine with
was
that.
Baylor.
Y'all know I did not like Baylor.
Tyler,
at all.
don't say that to me, Ty. I don't want to see that.
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, you said he got robbed. Yeah, I know. All right, guys, moving over to the next Final Four game. We got number 8 UNC versus number 2 Duke. UNC came out on top 81-77. Top player for that game, Caleb Love, 28-1-4.
So, yeah, that was a great game. Of course, I'm a UNC fan like these gentlemen here. It was a fun game to watch. It was a hard-fought battle. It was like the UNC games, Duke games of the regular season. It's always fought hard. It's always competitive. I read a really interesting thing. Coach K actually went to Baycott. Baycott actually got hurt in that game, hurt his ankle.
Mm-hmm.
Coach K said after the game to Baycott, "Man, I wish you didn't get hurt. You were my most valuable player of the year, and that just makes me happy as a UNC fan." But guys hit their shots. Caleb Love with that crazy 3-pointer where he's like fading a little bit. Oh,
right.
that game I watched at my best friend's house. That game was just, there's no words for it. It was just storybook would be the right term.
Absolutely.
So me,
what do you think, Cole?
To me, it was a hard-fought, victory. It was a very emotional game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, back and forth, as expected. Some of the better players for Duke, they stepped up and did their thing. Some of those guys, they got themselves in foul trouble, early on. It was a better officiated game as far as being consistent than I anticipated it being. So that was a pleasant surprise. UNC just were able to make enough shots. Caleb Love was able to do what we needed him to do and be that dominant scorer. If he had got in the scoring mentality earlier, he could have had 40 points that game.
I agree.
But sometimes he likes to try to be a point guard, and that always ends up badly for us. So, if he does come back, which I think he should, I hope that he works on being that finisher and that closer. And if the play is there, make it as far as the pass. But your job is to score buckets.
Right, yeah.
Do that.
Jahan?
I just want to say, a Duke fan can't tell me nothing.
I knew that was coming.
Like, this was the biggest win in the robbery. Retired Coach K, undefeated in the postseason against Duke. Made it to the championship game off the face of beating Duke. It was one of the best games of my entire life.
I agree. Yes, for sure.
Going in, I knew we were going to beat Duke. It wasn't a doubt in my mind that we were going to beat Duke.
Hubert got those boys ready. Hubert got this.
I just. We'll get to it, but
yeah,
that was definitely national championship-esque. That night, Saturday night, was definitely national championship-esque. I definitely celebrated it like it was a national championship.
Same.
But the highest of the highs from Saturday night's game, like Franklin Street was on 10.
Right.
There's videos of Franklin Street. Everybody's going crazy. But that wasn't the national championship.
Definitely wasn't. But I will say, shout out to Coach K. He had class. He came, shook everybody's hand, congratulated everybody.
And then Wendell Moore.
Yeah, him and Wendell Moore.
Yeah.
The rest of that team, I don't have respect for you as men because you couldn't shake hands when you lost. All those wins, you were smiling, dancing, happy.
Calling people
gotta,
soft.
Yeah, you have to take the losses with the wins. You don't lose a game and then all of a sudden you become a different character. That means that was your character all along. You were just able to hide it because you were winning. So
I will say there's a difference though. Like for example, when Cam lost in the Super Bowl and he didn't want to talk to the media, it didn't bother me. I felt like somebody that was that dedicated to their team, and this is the biggest loss of your life. I guess I didn't mind that they didn't want to talk to the media, but yeah, I feel like you should be a good sportsman and shake their hand.
Well, I'll say this with the Cam situation. They set them up so they were like on a back wall with the Broncos, so they could hear the Broncos celebrating. They could hear their press conference, and I don't think you do that to a team when they just lost, right? So I think they put them in a situation where it's like it was a different situation. But I understand where you're coming from. But I feel like if you had to put them separately like you should have, then I think you would have got the conversations and the talk from Cam and everybody else on the Panthers. But you put them in a bad situation with how you structured everything.
Agree.
I
definitely
I was
agree.
put in that situation. I probably wouldn't have talked either.
Well, maybe at least he wasn't like DT. DT punched down the door,
Hey, go do
I
your
know
thing.
she did though.
Go
She
do
did
your
though.
thing.
y'all know I rock with
Jahan don't like that now.
Go do your thing.
She's a goat. She's a goat, but she definitely put her face to the
If you
wall.
say something about what did Gino say? If you say something about Paige Buckers the first, then Jahan don't like that.
Paige?
But Gino said, and this was the words from Gino Ariana's mouth. When he saw Paige Buckers play, he was like, "That's another Diana Taurasi."
Well, she is. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can say that, but you got to shout out Breonna Stewart as the GOAT. UConn. She was 4th floor in the championship games. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. So moving on to the title game, we'll get this over with. Number 8 UNC, number 1 Kansas, 69-72. Kansas on top. Baycott had 15-2 and 15, but ended the game injured. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking that his ankle got messed up again, and our team, like, I wish we could have held that lead, of course, but like Manic played his butt off. He got hit around a few times. He got hit in the head. Caleb Love played like the guys didn't close it out like they should have, and they blew that lead. But like, I have to give us props because we left it on the court. We played our hearts out. We gave everything we got, even though we blew a lead. We still fought. But props to Kansas. Kansas was a scary team. Remy Martin, I forget who's that guy, Anijibi?
Mm-hmm.
I forget. Yeah, like that team was just good. So yeah.
Real quick though, I just want to introduce everybody to Detroit Dom in the house. What's up, Dom?
Yo, see you breaking your diet. We doing a shot? Let's go.
Okay, I'm not doing it until we get over with the UNC because we got to pour one out for UNC.
But
Okay.
But yeah, so that's all I have to say. Cool.
I like your hat, Jahan.
Thank you, sir.
You can't even see what color mine is. It's
Cool.
not the right color orange, but it's orange.
I don't know if cool.
You there, Cole? All right, Dom, what do you think about the title game,
I'm back,
UNC versus Duke?
I'm having a little technical difficulty.
It was pretty awesome. Good back and forth game. Like in the second half, UNC blew that lead. Obviously, it's funny. My boy won like almost $300 on a parlay for the first basket made. He was all pissed off because like like he checked the wrong box or something, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't pick that," and then he hit the shot. So then he was just ham sandwiched from that point forward. Good game. Great run by UNC.
Right.
Kansas. it's crazy because I feel like normally Kansas makes a better and longer run when they're not a number 1 seed. But it was just, like I said,
Not
great
this
game.
time.
I know, great game, back and forth. Like, it's the best tournament it's the best postseason tournament in college or pro sports, and it's not close.
Okay.
Just
I
good to
agree.
see a good game.
All right, Jahan.
April 4th in national championships are a sore spot for me lately. The Chris Jenkins shot was April 4th, 2016.
Oh,
This game
Ooh.
was on April 4th, 2022. I've never been more hurt than I was with the Villanova shot. I was hurt. I wasn't hurt this time. I was just kind of like stunned. Stunned because no one outside of Chapel Hill fans thought that we would win this game. And
Hello.
yeah, well,
I thought y'all were gonna win.
I give you that.
I did.
I give you that.
but the analysts, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like nobody was picking us.
Okay.
You can't have it all, bro.
No. It's fine, but the fact that Kansas blazed out to 7-0 and we survived that run, we come back and we punch Kansas in the mouth. Boom! Like up 15 at the half, we're coasting, we're looking good. Like Leakey's playing phenomenal defense. Their stars are in like
You said it though, and that was what happened. Coasting.
Yeah, like their stars are like freaking shooting terrible. We're in this, like we're in it. And then second half starts and we come out flat. And we just come out so flat. And the lead is just slowly inching off. And Braun hits this shot and he ties the game with his and one. And it's like, oh shit, what is gonna happen now? And it's like from that point forward, it was back and forth. It was just back and forth. Who's gonna make the shot, and whoever made this shot and threw the knockout punch, that was the winner. And that's what happened. I mean, we got to where like we could blame it on Baycott getting injured. We can blame it on the blown lead. We can blame it on anything. The fact of the matter is, when it mattered most, they made their shots and we did.
Right.
Caleb Love, for all of his talent and his getting us to the title game, he picked the worst time to have a bad game.
And he did have
Well, I'm
a bad
sure he
game.
didn't pick it. I'm sure he didn't pick it. But I mean, we've talked about this in the
Big
tournament so many
spots,
times.
but he had big games to get y'all
Yeah.
there. When's the last
Right.
time an 8 seed made it to the finals?
Right.
Right.
And then Brady Manick, he didn't have his normal Brady Manick game. RJ Davis didn't have his normal game. Mondo played. He gave everything. He was on one wheel for majority of the game anyway. He came out limping. We can't use that as an excuse. If you're on the floor, you're 100%. It is what it is. Shout out to Kansas.
Yep.
I hate them.
No
hate
shame
'em
in
too.
losing
Oh, I
to
hate
a 1
Kansas.
seed, but look, you beat Duke in Coach K's last home game.
Yeah,
Right.
You put Duke out the tournament.
yeah.
Would you
like I
would
said,
you trade them? Would you trade them
Butler
both
is
for
the
a
last
ship?
seed.
Would you trade them both for a ship? Sure you
I
would.
would.
All right. So hold
I
on.
would.
you
Hold
would.
on.
I know we're not done. Cool. You ready?
Cool. Turn your camera on.
He can't.
Well, we're not gonna do that, sir.
Let me see the Stevie Wonders. Come on.
Here's the thing.
Hear me.
So with this game, you don't jump out to a 15-point lead in the first half and feel like you've won the game, right?
Mhm.
That was a big mistake that we made. We did not come out with the same aggressiveness. We were not taking the ball to the hole as we should consistently. As
Ask
Jahan
and you
said,
shall
Brady
receive,
Manick
Eric Wilson.
didn't have a Brady Manick game. And then Caleb Love not doing his thing. But shout out to Puff Johnson, because Puff Johnson made some big shots in that game. He
Yeah.
doesn't get a lot of playing time. I talked last week. I've been talking for weeks about how I'm displeased with the short rotation. I think this is a culmination partly of their short rotation because guys are not getting breaks. Guys are playing 30-plus minutes every game, in a tournament where you're playing every other day, right there at the end, the Final Four championship game. So I think one of the things that I want to see Hubert Davis do better next year is incorporate other guys more. Even if we're talking about 5-10 minutes, just giving guys breaks, allowing guys opportunities to stay fresh, especially in tournament situations. I think that was a big part of what happened. Guys just lost their legs at the end. I mean, you can't play a whole game or a whole second half of every game and not eventually get worn down. But shout out to Carolina because they did their best, I feel like. It wasn't enough. They couldn't hold a lead. They couldn't make some critical plays at the end. Bad turnover by Brady with that pass over in the corner to Leaky Black at the end. That's not the guy you want to make that pass to. And on the last play where they still had opportunity, Brady tripped. I feel like the play would have went to him had he not tripped. But it is what it is because those two plays then cost us the game. Giving up a 15-point lead in the second half cost us the game.
Right.
And
Hey,
it's a
shout out
learning
to Puck
experience.
Johnson. Shout out to Puck Johnson.
Yes, for
It's
sure.
a learning experience, and hopefully a lot of these guys will be back next year. We'll see more guys like Curran Walton. Hopefully Anthony Harris will be back to take some of those minutes at point. Hopefully Caleb Love comes back. I don't know what Armando Bacot is thinking, but hopefully we get a lot of these guys back and we're able to try to make another run next year. But shout out to Kansas. Kansas did exactly what they were supposed to do, and there's no need to be upset with them. There's no need for me to be mad. My team went out there and made it all the way. They just weren't good enough on that night to beat Kansas. They were for the first
You know what
half,
I
but
think?
unfortunately the game was 2 halves.
I think the difference maker here is, Kansas had 2 players with 15 points. They had 2 players with 12 points. Then they had another player with 14 points. So, they just had double digits all over throughout that team. And then, I knew something going into this that their lane coverage was a little soft. And it seemed like UNC got focused on the 3, especially in that second half when they needed to be focused on getting to the lane, and that's not what happened.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, I'm going to do a shot real quick because we're going to pour it out for Kansas or for UNC. I'm just going to pour it in my mouth. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Okay, let's move over to the ladies real quick. In the Final Four, we had number 1 South Carolina versus number 1 Louisville. South Carolina came out on top, 72-59. Aaliyah Boston had 23, 4, and 18 balled out. Will you want to start?
Yeah, like you said, Aaliyah Boston. Oh my, she's unreal. She's phenomenal. She definitely took over that game and proved why South Carolina is consistently one of the best women's programs and will continue to make runs, and why Don Saley is a phenomenal coach.
Most definitely.
So that's all I have to say.
Okay, cool. What you got on this game?
South Carolina is crazy. South Carolina had everything that they needed to do what they did in this particular game. They had the defense, they had the scoring, they had the low post presence, they had the rebounding. They were moving the ball around. They made critical shots. They never allowed their opponent to get a big run. They just kind of, okay, you get a few points, we're going to get a few points. You get a few shots, we're going to stop you. They held a lot of those Louisville scorers that were putting up 10, 12, 15 points a game to 4 points, 5 points. You can do that, you should win the game. And they did.
Most definitely. And I was a little concerned because Louisville is so scrappy. So I was wondering what South Carolina's defense was going to do. But, it was pretty obvious there. And, just defensive boards became an issue. And so Boston just balled out with that. I think that was a huge difference right there, changing the speed of the game and the direction of the game. Dom, talk to me about this game.
Well, in the Final Four, you got three 1s and a 2.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina beat Louisville by 13 and then won the title game by 15. So I didn't think they were that much better than anyone else, but apparently they were, because that's like 13, 14 points. That's not close, especially in the Final Four and in the title game. But I believe I had the Gamecock winning the whole thing.
Okay. John?
Leave it at that to jump ahead.
Leave it to Don.
South Carolina was just dominant, man. They
All
just
season.
yeah. They had the 2 fluke losses in season, and I didn't feel like anybody was gonna get close in the tournament. Like I just think like that Kentucky loss woke them up, and after that it was just like a team on a mission. Don Staley was on a mission. Boston was on a mission, and I mean she said it.
Definitely.
She said it in her presser after the title game,
Oh.
but she was on a mission.
One thing, not to interrupt, against Louisville, South Carolina, 19 assists. Louisville, 5.
Yeah. And I saw Van Lith got like rejected early. She got blocked early, and I was like, "Oh man, it's gonna get ugly." So, and in
But
those 2 losses that South Carolina had throughout the season, I think they had a total of 4 points deficit there. So, like,
yeah,
they definitely could have won those games.
yeah, it
All right,
was.
guys.
They were definitely close games, and just like mental lapses on their part.
All right, guys. Now I know this one's going to be a little painful or not this one, but the next one. UConn versus Stanford. Number 2, UConn, Stanford, number 1, 63-58. UConn came out on top. Paige had 14, 5, and 4. Will start us off.
Yeah, like you said, Paige went off. Paige had a hell of a game. She played her heart out, and she's like the heart of the team. They missed her dearly during the season when she was gone, but she definitely performed well in the tournament and played really well against a really good Stanford team that has Lexi Hull, Haley Jones, like a really good Stanford team. So it was a good win.
Go ahead, cool.
So UConn was able to get the victory. Not surprised that they won the game. We saw it was a pretty close game. But UConn just kind of felt most of this game like they just had a little bit more in the tank. Like they just were going to, you just felt like UConn was going to pull it out. I really like UConn's team. One of the things that UConn and South Carolina did, as well as NC State and some others, was they played good team basketball. You could talk about a particular player, but you had to also acknowledge the other talent around them that helped elevate them and help them, have one-on-one opportunities, right, instead of being able to double team. They're just probably 6 or 7 really good teams that we saw this year, like top to bottom, and UConn was definitely one of those. And then when they got Paige back, with everybody else getting that experience and having to step up more while she was gone, it just felt like they were going to get to that championship game. And, that's what they were able to do.
Most definitely. Dom, thoughts on this game?
I only saw a few minutes of it, but looking at the game log, I'm surprised it's as close as it was. Turnovers probably brought it back to the 5-point game that it was. Granted, neither team shot well. UConn 37%, 36 from 3. Stanford 35, 17% from 3, but 62% free throws. Like, that's terrible. But UConn had 19 turnovers. That's what made this game closer. 17% from 3, and they shot, like, Stanford was 17%. That's 4 of 23. UConn wasn't much better, 36%, but that's 5 of 14. That like 4 of 23. That's like that game in the NBA Finals. Oh God, when was it? Several years ago. It was a closeout game. Maybe it wasn't even the finals. It was maybe the conference finals. And one team just missed like 13 of 14 threes, and they were like, at what point do you just stop shooting?
Right.
That's that. Like when like when you're cold, you're cold. I mean, I don't know what sort of inside presence Stanford has, but if you're that bad from three, like stop shooting. Or
I
or
mean,
make
well,
the
they have
extra
Haley Jones. Like Jay was talking about Haley Jones. Y'all know that's my favorite player that's not on my team, and she went for 23 and 11. And then Cameron Brink, she had 15 points and 7 rebounds, but everybody else was in single digits in points. When I say single digits, I mean like 4,
right.
5, 1. Like
Make
everybody was having a tough game.
make the extra pass to get
Yes.
the more wide open look. There it is. Yeah, I was gonna say it was the Rockets. I was
Rockets
pretty
missed
sure.
it.
I knew he'd come in. I'm like, seems like the Rockets.
That's funny. Well, I picked Stanford to win the whole thing. I picked them to repeat, and so this was kind of tough, but I enjoyed watching Haley play. Can't wait till she actually comes out. It won't be this year, but her teammate Lexi Hull will be coming out this Monday, so we'll see where she goes in the draft.
Dallas
Moving on
Wings,
to
let's go.
I don't want her on Dallas Wings. I mean, she's great, but I have other ideas. We'll get to that. That's the last segment of the show. Moving on to the title game, we had number 2 UConn versus number 1 South Carolina. South Carolina came out on top, 64-49. And in that game, Destiny Henderson was the top performer, the point guard for the Gamecocks. She went for 26, 4, and 2 in her final game. Super excited for that. I thought she was going to be a difference maker, and sure enough, I mean, don't get me wrong, that type of deficit, everybody played a part, but 26 points in a title game, it's a big deal.
Yeah, unfortunately, my team ends up on the losing side. But you know what? South Carolina, what can you say? Aaliyah Boston, Destiny Henderson had the game of her life, and then you have a great coach in Dawn Staley, who's like
We know Eric.
awesome. But I knew it was going to be
I didn't even see it. Was he talking shit?
He said the Chicago Sky is the world champions.
I knew the team was going to be playing USC was going to be very tough, and they just started off hot and didn't stop rolling. That's all I have to say.
Cool. Thoughts on this game? Dom? Do a shot. Liven it up or something.
I just did
Do
one.
a shot. Liven it up.
Hang on. Hold on.
We're the only ones drinking. It's all right.
Bums. Is this the sip off or is this the sip off?
Right. Cheers.
You know, I had them the whole time. This is the team I said. They did what I expected them to do.
Oh, now
Don
he's cool.
Staley. Oh, y'all couldn't hear me before?
No,
No.
we couldn't.
Okay. Well, let me start over then. I said all along.
Oh, now
I
you
told
want
you
some
guys
cheese.
at the beginning of the year who it was going to be. It was going to be South Carolina at the end. South Carolina had the coach. They had player of the year. A lot of quality pieces around her, and they play hard team defense. They use their depth like I want Hubert Davis to do. And they did everything else that needs to be done. They were just a little bit stronger most games, as Don pointed out, than the other team. You know, a couple of hiccups. Nobody's perfect. I think it's less pressure once you get a loss or two out of the way anyway, because then you're not worried about, we got to be perfect. We got to make sure we finish out this perfect season. Doesn't matter if you're perfect or not, as long as you win a championship.
But okay, 15 points, and I'll tell you why South Carolina won the game, and why by the number of points.
You've had a few shots, Dom?
Free throws.
Have at it, Dom.
Free throws.
Okay.
I mean, that's an expectation in basketball, right?
Free throw.
No, free throw. I hate when free throws are a part of the storyline and the loss. Like,
but it's a 22. The differential in how do you only go to the free throw line 4 times?
Well, you have to. you kind of got to attack the hole and get in there deep
You think?
on a consistent basis to get the free throws. You know,
I watched most of this game. I don't remember UConn never going to the hole, but maybe twice.
Right. That's why they didn't get free throws, sir. They didn't play inside.
I mean, forget the percentages. The fact that the disparity was 22 on attempts. If the team that beat you had 22 more free throw attempts than you lost.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's lame that it comes down to free throws. Like, like looking at that, I would think it's like a shack.
It didn't come down to free throws. One team was aggressive, and one team relied on the jump shot and the three. So it didn't come down to free throws. It came down to shot selection.
Apparently, but like the rest of the stats, they weren't that much different.
All right, Jahan, what are your thoughts on it?
Say you win championship. You use your advantage.
I just want to say shout out to UConn for number one beating the defending national champion Stanford Cardinal. That was a task in itself. Also, shout out to UConn for even making it to the tournament. Paige was injured most of the year. They had a lot of injuries they overcame to even make the tournament and let alone get to the championship game. Gino deserves so many hats off for that. I'm not always the biggest Gino fan. I think Pat's the GOAT. Rest in peace, Pat Summit.
You don't got to think it. You're right.
But
yeah,
shout out to what Gino was able to accomplish.
Yes.
11-1 is nothing to hold your hat about in the championship round. It was South Carolina's time. I put something in the Sip Off chat the other day I thought was freaking craziness. The women's champion and the men's champion defeated the same teams en route to the title.
That is crazy.
That was freaking crazy.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah.
What's up, Damon? That would be something else.
Damon, one pride. That's my guy.
Yeah. Shout out to the gas station clerk. I paid 10 on pump 3. She gave me $5 extra gas. You know what I'm saying? But
it was a she, huh? It was a she.
Yeah. I mean, you know. But anyhow.
Dude, $5 in gas, that's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
You're right about that.
But anyhow, just hats off to UConn. I can't say enough about them, but South Carolina, like I stated earlier, a mission, they were on it. They stayed focused the entire tournament and got it done.
Absolutely. You know what? I wasn't quite sure because there were some games in this tournament that I guess they were playing down to their competition.
The better Carolina got a ship.
I'm not gonna say that.
Hey,
but I love Don Staley.
Can
we boot him? We can mute him.
Yeah.
We don't have to mute Dom, but you have to remember who Dom is. Dom's a Lions fan. He's miserable, so he just wants other people to
muted myself first.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You have to be above miserable people. You just rise above them. That's how you handle Dom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not miserable. I'm just sad.
Pistons. Red are terrible.
Well, all right. And then those people that are criticizing Dawn Staley for the jacket she wore to the finals game. First off, she loves Louis Vuitton. You're going to see her in Louis Vuitton everywhere she goes. And if you are the highest paid women's coach, do you? You made $22 million. Do what you want to do. Get out of her pockets.
Louis Vuitton.
Get out of her pockets.
Louis Vuitton guns like Megatron.
I mean, she looked fresh to death with the shoes and the jacket. Yeah. It's nice. And then in the game before that, she had on the white suit. That was fresh too. Loved it. I think Dawn just brought a ton of flavor. And when she brings that energy with the sweatshirt that says women's basketball versus everyone, I love it. I think that's everything. And that's part of the reason why they had some of the highest viewership that they've had in a really long time. Love it. It's been a while since we've seen this type of viewership and this type of interest in women's basketball. And just, man, I rock with that whole attitude. Love it.
Yep.
But let's move over. Let's move over to the NBA. Things are getting spicy. We got play-in tournament time, and we're going to talk about a little bit of playoff scenarios.
You know who we don't got to talk about?
The Fakers.
Go ahead, Ming.
Love that for them.
You love that for them. I love it for the Spurs. I love it for the Spurs. We go into the play-in tournament. I guess okay. So we're gonna just start off with the Western Conference play-in tournament. So this Wednesday, the Spurs will be playing. Coming up Wednesday, the Spurs will be playing the Pelicans at 8:30. What are y'all's thoughts on that? And do you think the Spurs are going to come out ahead? Do you think the Pelicans are going to come up ahead? And then who do you think they are going to end up playing in the next round?
So I think it's going to be a very close back and forth game. Brandon Ingram's going to hit his shots. CJ McCollum's going to hit his shots. DeJounte Murray's going to go off. Jakob Poeltl's going to play well.
Mm-hmm.
I think, bold prediction, I think that DeJounte Murray gets a triple-double and the Spurs win.
Yay! He does get a triple-double because he's a walking triple-double.
He is a walking triple-double.
Is he? Do you get over that stomach bug? I mean, he's got to be over it now, right?
He's not. I don't think he's playing currently. We are playing the Timberwolves right now. Hold on one second. I'll get you the score. It's 64
I'm going to look right now.
at the half. Timberwolves are up on top. And no Murray. I don't think that we're going to see him in the last couple of games. We've got to play Golden State on Saturday. And what is our last game?
Oh, my God.
One more game. Oh, the Mavericks. We got to play the Mavericks on Sunday.
I got to get on one of these betting sites. The Warriors are only favored by 14 tonight against the Lakers. That's easy money.
And Russ isn't playing.
Right, and they released Trevor Ariza today. So, not that he was doing a whole lot, but
Who you got, Cool?
So I'm actually going to agree with Will, not on the triple-double for DeJounte Murray.
That's why I said bold prediction.
Yeah, but I think that San Antonio should be able to win this game. One of the things I've noticed about New Orleans is they don't play a lot of defense, right? So they put up a reasonable amount of points, but there's not a lot of people on that team that are interested and focused on the defensive side of the ball.
So the whole NBA?
No, incorrect.
So with that being the case,
the Spurs play defense.
Except the Spurs.
The Spurs play defense. The Bucks play defense. There are teams that play defense.
The Spurs have been playing defense consistently
New Orleans is not
for 25
one of those
years.
Teams. So New Orleans, we're talking about, and New Orleans is not one of those teams that play defense. So being that they're not a team that plays defense, when you go up against a team that's going to challenge you and make you have to make contested shots, and then you're not going to play defense on them back, that team should have a very good chance, especially in a one-game situation, to put you out. And I think that's what's going to happen in New Orleans.
And let me remind y'all, DeJounte is the steals leader for the entire season. So,
Yes.
moving on, Dom.
Spurs.
Okay.
That's all I got to say. Spurs.
Spurs.
But Dom only has one word to say.
Spurs.
Mark the time for this, y'all. Mark the time for it. Dom only had one word to say. We have to frame this photo. Mark
Oh,
the time
I mean
so
you.
can
I'm the one that takes more time. You're a funny man, Cool.
No, I'm just saying you only have one word to say. I don't ever remember you only having one word to say before.
Maybe ever.
Me
but
either.
I love it that one word is the Spurs. I love it.
Spurs.
Now, I will say, I do think this is going to be a tough game for us. The Pelicans are not chumps. They improved greatly since the trade deadline. CJ McCollum has been exactly what they needed, and I love that for them. I'm not a hater on the Pelicans whatsoever. Now, I will be if they win this game. I'm not going to be too happy. But formidable opponents, may the best team win. but I do think that coaching experiences is going to come into play within Greg Popovich. Like, I mean, he's the greatest coach of all time, or with the most wins at this moment, and I think that's going to speak for something. I think that heart is going to speak for something. And when people talk about us knocking out the Lakers, I just want to remind everybody, the Lakers got 5 Hall of Famers on their roster. Spurs have none at this moment. We'll see what DeJounte does in his career, but at this moment, we got 0 Hall of Famers. We got a star, not a superstar, but we got a star, and then everybody else is just playing into that system. Devin Vassell is something special from Florida State University. Watch out
Florida
for him.
State.
His defense has definitely stepped up this season. Super happy with his development. And even Duke's own Trey Jones. I'm not a fan of Duke, but he plays well for us. He plays an excellent 6th man. I like what I've seen out of him too. So I'm obviously going to take my own team, but I think it's going to be close. So maybe 5-point differential.
You want Jeremy Grant?
No,
and
we don't want that contract.
Yeah, you do. You want Grant for Vassell and our pick and your pick.
You know how we build our teams there in San Antonio. We build them naturally, and so.
I will say this though, Spurs are going to win that game, but I think the Pelicans would have, in theory, a better chance to advance. Which is to say, neither of y'all do. But if it's like 5%, 3%.
And that's where it gets tough because either we're going to face the Timberwolves or we're going to face the Clippers as of right now, my dogs. I'm sorry, y'all. We're either going to – and I think the Clippers is tough. April.
Which one's – oh, I was going to say it's Ape. I knew it.
Gosh, she's such a barker. The Clippers got Norman Powell back, and he put up like 25 points in 24 minutes the other day, and they got PG-13 back. So I really super feel like the Clippers are somebody to watch. Especially in this
Clippers?
Yeah, Clippers.
Oh, you mean former Pistons.
Okay. All right, John, what are your thoughts on this?
Which matchup? Specific.
Spurs, Pelicans, and then who are they going to play in the next round?
I'm gonna take the Spurs.
Yay!
I'm gonna take the Spurs. As much improvement as the Pelicans have made, coaching matters in the late stages, and nobody's better than Pop. Nobody's better than Pop.
Exactly.
Whose turn signal is on? It sounds like a turn signal.
It does sound like a turn signal.
let me ask this about the Pelicans. Better or worse right now without Zion?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Better.
I'm not ready
say
to
better.
I'm not ready to say that because he was averaging 27 points last season, So I'm not ready to say that they're better, but they definitely needed to fill that position. CJ came in and he's filling that position that Lonzo Ball was playing. And different apples and oranges, different things, different positions.
Hornets up right now on Orlando.
Yay.
Well, we knew that.
10 seed.
Also, I forgot to say, I have Minnesota playing the Spurs because the Clippers will beat Minnesota.
I think so too. No, I think so too. I think the Clippers are a team to watch right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And then if we get the 8 seed, we got to play the Suns. We done.
Done. Do we see a finals rematch?
Possibly. I do. In my opinion, I feel like the Bucks.
So
A lot of people like the Bucks.
Wait. So what are the other play-in matchups?
Okay, so in the East, we got the Hornets at number 10, the Hawks at number 9, the Nets at number 8, and the Cavaliers at number 7. So the 7 and 8 seed will be playing each other for the 7 seed, Cavaliers versus the Nets, and then the Hawks versus the Hornets for the next play-in game.
So I think the Cavs-Nets game is actually going to be a really good game because actually depends Mobley's health, but I think the Nets because you got Kyrie and KD, and then Hornets Hawks. I've got to go with my Hornets. Like I know you got Trae Young who can drop threes from anywhere, but
James
on the
Harden
Hornets,
2.0
basically.
with a worse hairline.
Anyway, the Hornets, because you got a bunch of different players. You got LaMelo Ball, long day. LaMelo Ball. You got Terry Rozier. You got Miles Bridges. I still think the Hornets win that game. Cool.
I think the Hornets win that game as well.
Thought about this. I'm sorry, Jahan and Will, but I'm actually going to go with the Hawks.
Oof.
And the reason I'm going to go with the Hawks is I think this is a really good matchup, but the Hawks have Trae Young. And I think when you look at a game like this, a guy like Trae Young, one of the nicknames that I call him is fourth quarter Trae, because he's one of those guys, he can be putrid for half the game. But once you get in the late third, fourth quarter, he normally comes alive. So I think he's going to be able to do enough to get Atlanta the win.
I can see that.
Matchup. Now, don't dismay, because he's going to turn around and lose to Cleveland in the for the AC anyway. So they're going to end up at home as well.
Yes, for sure. For sure, I agree. Dom?
Hornets.
It's the right decision, sir.
Hornets. 2 words. They're both Hornets. What happened to Megan?
Where did
Honestly, only because like the Hawks disappointed me so much this year, and they're going to continue to disappoint. Like I thought the Hawks were that ascending team, and apparently they're not. But that's because you know why? Trae Young.
And don't be asking Megan that this was my moment.
Oh, sorry. She kept dipping in, dipping out.
Anyhow, I'm also taking the Charlotte Hornets. Of course, naturally, but that's gonna be the game of the play-in.
It is.
That's gonna be the game of the play-in, and you heard it here first. Trae Young is gonna get his. He's gonna do 35 and 10. But LaMelo, Terry, overpaid Rozier.
Really?
And Miles Bridges.
He's a little bit overpaid.
And Miles
No,
Bridges.
he's worth it.
What did I say? You said Miles Bridges. I said that's the X factor for the Hornets.
Miles Bridges they're all gonna ball out, and the Hornets are gonna get.
The Hornets fell a couple spots. I thought they maybe end up in the 7 and then surprise someone.
I'm taking Hornets and Nets to advance to the playoffs, and the Hornets are going to get the 8 seed, and the Nets are going to get the 7 seed.
I agree.
Agreed.
And I agree, John. And we want revenge for last year.
Who?
Hornets getting blown out by the Pacers in the play-in game.
Oh, that is correct. I forgot about that. Massive blowout.
If nothing else, my fandom for the Hornets far exceeds my fandom for the Hawks.
Okay.
Talking Larry Johnson, Glenn Rice, Zoe.
Yep.
Hawks, who they got?
Neek,
and Joe Johnson. That's it.
I like Joe Johnson.
Kim Bang was a...
Oh, you said
okay,
Joe.
So,
and Steve Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Smitty.
He's a Spartan. Fuck him.
Oh.
He ain't no Glenn Rice.
Okay, so then that means if the Nets get the number 7 spot, they will be playing the Celtics currently. Oh yeah, Mutombo. So what do you
liked
think?
Him better as a Nugget.
Well, I'm sorry, Megan, I couldn't hear you.
If the Nets get the number 7 seed, they will face the Celtics currently.
Easy money.
I'm taking the Nets, of course.
I'm taking the Nets in 6.
Man, I've been betting against the Celtics all season, and y'all saw what happened.
Celtics won
Definitely that.
shit
Definitely.
until
Yeah.
about 20
Yeah, we
games
did.
ago.
Yeah, we did.
Celtics were. We've been talking about this all year, Megan. Till they went on that win streak, they were a
Oh
500
my
team.
God. Yeah, and that win streak was
However,
like 22-3. Like, and
how
since the
well
All-Star game, it was
for one,
ridiculous.
the Pistons broke that win streak. However, actually, a Celtics fan pointed this out to me. Celtics been banged up or just decimated like hospital Celtics for like 2 years. Now they're healthy, but I'm still not buying it.
Okay. Cool. What you got on this matchup?
Oh, I'm definitely going with the Nets. I mean, I've been telling y'all, for a few weeks, like KD is the best scorer in the league. Point
He
blank.
is.
Yeah,
You disagree with
absolutely.
that? I don't care.
100%
You're
agree.
wrong. So if you have him, you got your boy, the part-time player Kyrie, who's full-time the rest of the year now. You got guys like Steph
Unless they
Curry.
play Toronto. Unless they play Toronto.
Oh, won't they please? Please, please, please.
Well, at least for now, he's full-time, right? So we'll
Right.
see. But I think that you have enough, even if Kyrie doesn't have a good game, because you have the most talented scorer in the league on your team, and you have enough
Right.
pieces surrounding him, where you're going to win this playing game. You're going to win it. And then I think when you get to the series, you're going to win that too.
Okay. Dom, you too?
Yeah. Nets in 5.
Nets in six.
Gentlemen.
Nets in 6.
Okay. John?
Brooklyn for sure. Nets in 6. I'm gonna go 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 6, same Nets. And I feel the same way about Katie. UT GOAT,
Yeah.
Definitely gonna ride with KD. I think he's a difference maker. And then with Kyrie being able to be there full time, that's gonna be huge. I think the Nets have had to battle so much this season that they lost one of their big three. They've had a ton of injuries. And then the issues with Kyrie and his availability. So I feel like they're going to come into this tournament with a chip on their shoulder, or into the playoffs with a chip on their shoulder. And I think they're going to make a splash. Definitely going to see them in the second round.
Definitely.
Okay, so what are y'all's thoughts on the Raptors moving into the 5 seed, Bulls at number 6?
It's definitely interesting because the Bulls just found out that Lonzo Ball will not be back for the rest of the year. But this Raptors team has a great coach. I like Nick Nurse as a coach. I think he's a very underrated coach.
Mm-hmm.
He won them a championship.
Done for the year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Including the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
You shut it down.
Yeah, but to be
shout out to Tyler. He already told me weeks ago, like Chicago, they weren't going to win a series anyways. This just confirms it. But go ahead, Will. Sorry.
I mean, they made the playoffs. Huge for them. That's an improvement from what they've had going on the last few years. So they made the playoffs.
Just to get there.
Congratulations to them. And then also keep in mind that Thibault for Philly is also unvaccinated. So if there is an issue with Toronto, and that matchup right there as well.
Anyway, you got Pascal Siakam, you got OG Anunoby, you got Fred VanVleet, you got Scotty Barnes, their rookie. They are
and Trent
good,
Jr. Don't forget about Trent Jr. He's been balling all
Jr.
season.
Sorry, and Trent Jr. That team is
Shaq of the Mac
low-key.
son.
I personally think that is one of the most. I'm not going to say they're going to the finals. I think that's one of the dark horse teams that could make a run in the playoffs.
Very cool.
Toronto?
Yeah.
That's what he said, Don. What you got, Cool?
Well, I respect what Toronto's able to do. I don't feel like they have like a dominant star player, but they're kind of like the Dom's boys back in the day. When they had Chauncey Billups and Rasheed Wallace and all those guys, Ben Wallace and all that.
Oh, hold on. That team made the Eastern Conference Finals like 7 out of 8 times. So don't you dare compare Toronto to that. But go ahead.
I can compare who I want to, sir. And I just did.
Show your face.
Now, as I was saying, they're like that in that, and if
Cool's
you had
eyes,
premature,
like one of them's like a windmill, the other one's a slot machine.
If you didn't premature ejaculate, you would have let me finish, and you wouldn't have had to make your
Oh
angry statement.
no! Oh, it
Dude,
got spicy. It always gets spicy at the end of the show.
Ooh.
So
Definitely.
what I was going to say was in that they don't have a star player, but obviously Detroit did more. But they have that same type of. We have 2 or 3 really good players, but we don't have like a star player or a consistent all-star caliber player. But they have a good core where you can't really say we want to take this guy out or this guy out because everybody in that lineup can kind of do their thing. So that's where the comparison was coming in. All the other stuff,
Okay.
just
Okay.
we're just a little premature. So
We only had one star player
wait until
ever.
you bust, and then we'll be good. But yeah. So that's what I think about that team. So I think when they go up against the star players and those guys who are really strong scorers, that could be a struggle for them. But they're another team to counteract Dom's incorrect point earlier that do play defense. So that as well.
Okay. All right, Dom. Unload.
Pause.
I mean, according
late for that.
to Cool, I already did.
Too late for that. He's already done that.
I get your point. I got mad, but I mean, we've only had one star player ever. His name was Zeke. But Toronto is Toronto, and until further notice, unless they get
Kawhi back.
Kawhi back, yeah.
Unless they get Jeremy Grant down. Unless they get Jeremy Grant.
Hey, whoever wants Jeremy Grant, we're pimping him out. No, it's the same.
Like, y'all can just take him for free. Can y'all just take him?
It's the same Toronto with less wins. Even when they had more wins, they would flame out in the playoffs. The only reason they got past the second round, let alone all the way to the finals and won a ship, was Kawhi. So Toronto's Toronto. Till further notice. Thank you, Cool.
Also, real quick, I just want to chime in and say, fuck Kawhi.
Indeed.
Let it go.
No, never.
Nope.
Let it go.
Never. Never in
Never
life.
letting that go.
When he retires, I'm still not going to let it go.
If I send you a Kawhi jersey, will you put on a flame suit underneath it and then set the Kawhi jersey on fire? Like, you won't get burnt, just the jersey. Deal?
Negative.
Deal.
I have a lot of hair. I have a lot of hair. And
Put
I feel
your
like
hair up.
You know.
Put your hair up.
Okay, so let's move over to the Western Conference. As far as playoff scenarios, so we know the Suns is going to beat whoever they face in the first round. Grizzlies are looking like they are going to face Timberwolves or Clippers, most likely. Thoughts on that?
Grizzlies in 5 or 6 in either of those series.
Okay, cool.
I agree with Will. I don't think either one of those teams. I think the Clippers would give them the most trouble just because they have more, firepower now. But I don't think either one of those teams, the way Memphis is playing right now, especially in the first round, is going to get them. I think when you get a little further, that's when you got to start weighing in the fact that Memphis doesn't have a lot of playoff experience.
Their
This
youth
first round
will catch up to them.
Yeah, but this first round, they should be fine.
Yes.
I really feel like the Grizzlies, that playoff experience is not going to be a factor until they play somebody like the Suns. I feel like they're a matchup nightmare for Golden State, personally. I feel like they outdo Golden State in almost every area, and Golden State doesn't have a big man right now. So I think that's a huge problem. And in my opinion, Defensive Player of the Year plays for the Grizzlies. So
JJJ?
Yes, I'm so hot on the Grizzlies right now.
player.
I think they're one of the best constructed teams in the league. Like, I think the rotations that they have, I feel like they can hang with anybody to 7 games.
I can see that.
I don't know if they'll win it. But I think they can hang till 7 games. Any team.
Yeah.
Y'all forgot.
It's a good take, I guess.
But I didn't forget. Go ahead, John.
I guess that's a good take, but Steph Curry is coming back.
Oh, I should have known you were going to say that.
John, why are you so laid back?
Steph Curry is coming back.
It's the least excited I've seen you on any episode of this show ever.
This isn't Jahan.
Yeah, it is. I'm good. What you mean?
It's like his
He's
Professionalism.
Like
professional.
his
He's
heavily
professional.
sedated
Profe-
twin.
Professionalism. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't
He's not
none.
stitched
He
tonight.
didn't
I don't
raise
like.
his voice. He ain't even yelled at me. He's yelled at no one. He ain't even yelled at me. Feeling all right?
You muted yourself, Dom. He didn't have to yell at you.
Yeah, but
I
y'all
did.
forget about Steph Curry's return. Once Steph come back,
We ain't forgot.
it's gonna be elementary, my dear Watson. You know what I'm saying?
Even against the Grizzlies?
Even against anybody.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
I
I'm
hope
taking.
and pray to see
I'm
that
gonna get.
matchup.
I'm gonna get. I'm gonna
I
get
do
up.
too. No, I love it because Memphis got him in the regular season. I know it's regular season. It's a
Hope
one
and
game at a
pray.
time.
What did I say?
It's not a
What did I say
series.
was the X factor in that matchup? JJJ.
I'm getting me.
Oh yeah, I love him. I can't
I'm
believe
getting
that
me.
he.
I'm getting me a GSW versus everybody hoodie.
Oh no, it's women's basketball. Stop it. Okay, but the matchup that everybody's really talking about is the Mavericks versus the Jazz, the 4-5 seed. So even if the Jazz is able to overcome the Mavericks, which I don't think is possible, they're 2 games behind each other. So 4 and 5 seed, Mavericks 4, Jazz 5. What do y'all think happens with that one?
I covered the Jazz on the carousel, but I can see it being a 6-game series, back and forth, back and forth. I think just even though the Jazz has Mitchell, Conley, Bogdanovich, Gobert, Rudy Gay coming off the bench, Clarkson, Luca and Dinwiddie and Brunson and I think they have something special brewing. Not saying they're going to get far in the playoffs, but I do see them winning this series in 6 or 7.
Cool.
Honestly, for me, you can flip a coin. These are two teams that don't ever do anything in the playoffs. They
Oh
never play each other, so
no.
one of them has to advance.
I was gonna say something similar.
I'll take Utah because they have Donovan Mitchell, and I think he has a better supporting cast, and he's willing to allow his supporting cast to also get off, and he's not worried about being the guy that gets off. So I'll go with Utah, but it's just really 51-49%. Like neither one of them win playoff series.
Okay. All right, Dom.
Mavs in 6 or 7. Spencer Dinwiddie closing out the series. Let's go.
I love it. No, Spence has made such a difference on that team. I do love that. I hate it that he's playing for that other Texas team. We all hate each other, but definitely I like Spencer Dinwiddie, so I like to see that. But
He's the
I will
mayor.
say this: Donovan Mitchell, New York Knicks next season. He will not be playing for the Utah Jazz.
No, him and Gobert are friction.
Done. It's done. Him, patient zero, done deal. It's over. Hobert.
Gobert.
The Stifle Tower. He's soft.
I love it. I love it.
I like Gobert a
I'm about
lot.
to pull
He's
it
just
down.
no, you're not.
I'm about to pull it down.
You can never pull it down.
Jamal
But go
Murray
ahead.
for Donovan Mitchell, straight up. I'm about to pull it down.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right, Jahan, tell me what you got.
I made that trade.
Ooh, that's very interesting.
I
like
think
that.
Luca.
I like that for you. Cool.
Luca finally wins a playoff series.
I will too.
Okay. I agree.
Thank you.
Agree.
The 4 or 5. That's
Luca finally gets it done.
I kind of wanted to see Dallas as a lower seed to surprise someone in a greater fashion.
Okay, so let's hit the last topic real quick before we go. WNBA Draft is Monday night. Who's your team? What pick do you have, and who do you want? Will, start us off.
So I'm a Seattle Storm fan. Ever since Charlotte Sting have left, I jumped on the Storm because we got Sue Bird, Jewel Lloyd, Katie Lou Samuelson, Brianna Stewart. But speaking of the draft, we have in the second round, we have the 17th pick, the 18th pick, the 21st pick. And SB Nation has us taking Caleb Pointer from LSU, who's a guard. She's averaging 19.6 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 1.8 steals. 18, they have us taking Kiana Smith, guard from Louisville. 21st, Jasmine Dickey from Delaware, two-time CAA Player of the Year. And then ESPN on the other hand has us taking Nia Clouden from Michigan State. 17, 18, Jada Melbourne from Australia. And 21, Lexi Hull. Shout out to Tyler. I personally, of all those players I listed, yeah, I get it. Caleb Pointer played for a great coach in Kim Mulkey, but give me Lexi Hull because she played great with Haley Jones this tournament. So I would love to see us with our first pick get Lexi Hull.
All right, cool.
So I, of course, represent the Atlanta Dream, the newly
Media.
minted team with the number 1 pick in the draft.
Correct.
So let me
Y'all
explain the
traded
trade
Washington.
because, there's been some incorrect communication about what the trade is. So I want to make sure when I have an opportunity that I clear that up. So basically, we traded the number 3 pick to Washington, as well as the number 15 pick, which is a second-round pick, to move up to the first pick. Also, next year, not the Atlanta Dreams pick, but the first-round pick that we got from the LA Sparks in the Erica trade with Shanae, Kennedy Carter. If that pick is higher than Washington's pick, then Washington can switch draft picks. So we essentially gave up the 15 pick this year to move up to the first and a possible pick swap if the Sparks are better. That's it. So you make this trade for one reason, and that's to go get Ryan Howard. If you're not going to get Ryan Howard, you don't make this trade. She's a star. She's versatile, 6'2". She plays very good offensively. Great shooter. She can play alongside anybody. And she has that star quality. You go trade from 3 to 1, you want to make sure that she's on your team next year. Let's go Dream.
Absolutely. I think Howard is a difference maker. Absolutely. She is a part of that Kentucky squad that we saw pull up an upset in the SEC tournament. Dom, talk to me.
Number 7 is where the Wings pick. I like Ray Burrell from Tennessee, despite the fact that she got hurt early in the year. I also really like Destiny Henderson from now defending women's NCAA champ South Carolina. I also like Naz Hillman from Michigan.
I like Hillman, but I think she's going to go a little bit earlier in the draft than number 7. But when we had
I thought that
6,
too.
we had the number 4 and the number 6 pick, and we traded those away. So I thought with one of those we probably would go with Hillman, but no, I don't think so. I think that we're going to either go with Destiny Henderson or Kirsten Bell from Florida Gulf Coast, and either one of those next to Arike. Like next to Arike, that type of shooting, oh man, because we got size now in the lane, so I'm not worried about that whatsoever.
I mean, we're like at the beginning of the bottom half of the draft. Like, I mean, it's never a bad idea to go best player available, but I like Kunani. She'll be gone though.
Kunan,
Yeah.
If she slips, her. But she'll be gone. But you never know.
Jahan, what you got?
Well, I'm team Diana Taurasi.
We know.
And whatever.
Go Razi.
Whatever helps Diana Taurasi win. They actually don't have a first round pick. So they just came off one of the greatest free agency off seasons I've ever seen. You know, getting Tina Charles.
Man.
Yeah.
But okay, but you got to take in consideration the situation that's going on with BG because
Yeah,
that's a huge, huge loss for them.
right. It is. It is. But May 19th, when she returns, May 19th,
Absolutely, speak it up.
hopefully, the Mercury will be so far in first place by the end that it won't matter. But no. No.
It is
Yeah,
pretty
no.
ridiculous. When I heard y'all got Tina Charles, I almost cried. I was like, okay, so are we even watching the season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
saw
know,
that and I was wow.
Wow, like
three
really?
three top 25 all time
That's
players.
who it was. It was Tina Charles, BG, and Della Dawn all in the same draft. That's who it
That's the
was. What
thing
we
though,
were.
like, and
That's what we
it's
were talking about earlier.
it's dope. Like, as much as I want to see the league expand and be like 20 plus teams, the fact that it's so few teams, it's like an 8 or 10, it's like an 8 team fantasy
Fantasy
football league.
draft.
Yeah,
Fantasy draft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
yeah.
the pool is big, but like the way it gets dispersed is so much smaller. So it's like there's only so
There's
many
only
places you can go.
144 available spots or roster spots
Right.
in the league.
Dope.
So it's small.
For
It is
now,
what it
it's gonna
is.
get bigger.
It
I
is.
expect I expect to see 20 plus teams within 3-4 years. And
So
hopefully
do
I
y'all?
expect to see a lot less teams bitching about contracts.
We're gonna
Like
have to
that
see
money's
some
coming
money
to the
change
WNBA.
hands. Some money gonna have to change hands first, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. So Mercury doesn't have a first round pick. They have second round picks.
I didn't see. To be
Okay.
honest. I saw
Okay.
first round only. They ain't have a first round pick, so I was like, yo,
All right.
some
Well,
still
I
some
guess
steals
we'll
happening
close it
too.
out. We'll close it out because we had an hour and 20 minutes now. Everybody, give your shout outs real quick, and then we done.
Well, you guys can find me on the NBA carousel covering the Utah Jazz and the Charlotte Hornets. The sip off on Thursday nights. I did not tell Dom this earlier, but I will be back on the gauntlet on Saturday. This Saturday. Sunday, Basket Bros, Jacob Christner, Dom Darubas, Jay Nelson, and I. But I will not be on the so I will not be on the carousel next week. I will not be on the sip off. I won't be on the gauntlet, but I will be on Basket Bros. It is because I am out of town going to a PGA Tour event.
Awesome. All right,
Go to
cool.
the Masters?
No, that's
Oh
this
no,
week. I'm
that's
going to the
April.
Because Dom was
RBC.
about to lose it.
I
Yeah, I
was.
know, right?
Cool.
I don't hear him.
Okay, Dom, your shout outs.
Too many to mention. I will try.
Okay.
Monday, NBA Carousel hosted by the Queen of Hoops, Megan Price. Thursday, Kneecap Biters, Smoking Jeremy B. Also, the Sip Off, hosted by the same Queen of Hoops I just mentioned, Megan Price. Saturdays, Gauntlet, Horseman. Sundays, Basket Bros. Me, Will, Jay Nelson, Jacob Christner. Let's go.
Jahan.
Shout out Megan Price and Anthony Brown for one of the illest shows on Thursday nights.
Yes,
No,
Episode 38,
no.
season 2. This was episode 38 of season 2.
No. One of the illest. The illest.
For real.
I like to
Appreciate
be
it.
I like to be humble. But anyhow,
Since when?
shout out to Cage Ragers. We got an episode coming tomorrow. Check us out.
Absolutely.
Oh man, can't wait.
Shout out to Cool on his show. Play Callers.
Play Callers Friday
He can't
night.
talk. He can't talk right now, but shout him out. Check him out tomorrow night. Shout out to Will Vogel for always being a loyal guest to us.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Shout out to myself for being, a part-time public figure.
Okay, Snoop, he said, I want to thank myself for all the work I did.
Yeah.
You can.
Shout out to myself for being a part-time public figure. But next week, my directorial debut. Stay tuned.
I didn't tell
I'm back,
anybody.
y'all.
I didn't tell anybody yet, but there you go. We're gonna just leave it hanging.
Shout out
Good
to
night,
John
y'all.
for not raising his voice.
Right?
I'm back, y'all. I appreciate the shout out, Jahan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Interactive
man.
Sports Talk, playcallsportstalk.com, Friday 7 p.m. Will Vogel will be on this week. We're gonna be discussing a lot of NBA, WNBA, college
Oh, there you go,
basketball.
Tyler.
Big week for all that, and we're gonna make it happen. So make sure you tune in at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's gonna be a fun ride.
Absolutely.
79%.
Thank y'all for watching so much. We will see y'all next week. I won't be here, but Jahan will. Good night, y'all.
Oh.
All right.